Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm Zelp and today we're gonna look at Grendel. So in our previous video, I told you guys that I was really new because I just came back from a really long break from Warframe. So I asked you guys to help me out by sharing some builds of this dude, this Warframe. And you guys gave me, and so I'm going to check them out and I'm gonna display it. Also, if you pay attention to the description, there's actually sort of like a giveaway contest thing, and whoever that did a good job explaining, I would actually give them a glyph. And I'm feeling generous, so I'm gonna give two guys the glyph. The first guy is K the Show, and he says, how I've been playing Grendel is use this one to gather up food or victims, and yeah, obviously use 2 to get buff for you and team. Hold down 2 to switch to another buff type. This is something that I didn't know, so thank you for saying that. If you have more than 1 food type in your belly, use 2 again. So I'm guessing so they can get a different buff. And then it also says that use 3 to spit out food at far off victims out of your gobble up range, followed by 1 to swallow them back up again if you can. And if your energy is getting low, hold 1 to spit everything on out, followed, wait, what? Okay, I think that's a little bit typo there, but basically spit everything out by followed by a life strike melee heavy or whatever to get healed, right? Then it says rage on him is a good idea, so I'm guessing Hunter's adrenaline is also going to be a good idea. And it also says that adaptation is, well, also it's nice if you want him to be uber tanky. Now adaptation is something that's new to me. I just discovered it like today, or maybe yesterday, and I ranked it just so that I can display or showcase him with adaptation. And I think it's a pretty neat thing to have, but I am kind of curious like how many adaptations you can actually have, or is it just one particular resistance at a time? So let me know down in the comments. He continues to say, I rarely use his 4, but it's handy to move from point A to B sometimes. Think it needs adjustment on its energy cost though. So while playing around with Grendel, I find that his ultimate feels like it takes away your energy pretty fast. The lowest I can get to is 2.5, but not forgetting that we have to consume enemies, we have to use feast on enemies first. So there's also another drain going on. So overall, it might actually deplete your energy really quickly. He continues to say, additional, depending on your mood, you can try extend on him. I'm guessing, overextend on him. This makes it so you do less damage to those in your belly, obviously, while at the same time giving you sick range, obviously again, while upping his armor potentially like crazy. Also help with his force size. He also says, additionally again, you can spit them out one by one off the mat for extra hilarity, or you can just hold 1 and spit them all out. That saves time. Okay, now I would say that I think if you use feast on an enemy in your belly, he actually doesn't take any damage at all. He only gets reduced armor, but if you use your 4th ability, then it will actually start doing damage to the enemies in your belly over time. So considering that the enemy that you feast will lose his armor, and then plus the damage that you do with your 4, it's probably gonna kill the enemy relatively fast. So yeah, technically it makes sense. If you have something that lowers your power strength, then the enemy actually stays in you longer. The other one comes from Gehin Spaghetti. I think that's how you pronounce it. A good idea of how to use feast with Grendel is to always have a few enemies in you because it gives you flat armor. So turns out the armor is a flat value. So in my opinion, it's a good idea to go for efficiency, especially on the drain. Okay, so I personally went for max drain efficiency and used Hunter Adrenaline, which generates energy even while drain abilities are active. He says, oh, there's the next part. He says, Zelp, I always keep a few enemies to keep my defense up. I use Umbra Vitality with one other Umbra mod. I think that other Umbra mod is gonna be the Steel Fiber, and one mod that gives you resistance, and I think this is Adaptation. I plan on using the two a bit more from time to time and vomit enemies into groups with my tree. I have an open mod slot in my build and will either fill it with prime continuity or casting speed because I don't like the length of 1 and 4. If it fill it with prime continuity, I will use my 2 more often. If not, it will basically be trash because of the negative duration. Oh, negative duration? Anyways, after reading these, I feel like the build that they're somewhat going for is quite similar, and it looks something like this. So it's a very tanky build. You have max efficiency in terms of the drain. So with a rank 4 fitting expertise, streamline maxed out, and a prime continuity, you'll actually reach the cap, which I believe is so 2.5 drain per second on the ultimate, and feast is about 0.38. The initial drain is going to be 6.25, and then after that they go on talking about vitality. Now I don't have the Umbra one because I don't have the Endo and the credits to be ranking them up, but because I'm an OG, I had these from a long time ago, so I'm actually using them instead. I feel like they are, well, first of all, they're better than the ones that I have right now, and I guess they will have to do. Okay, and then of course Adaptation, which both of them suggested. One suggested Rage, but this is obviously a better choice. They do pretty much the same thing, only this one gives you a little bit higher, and also some extra set bonus if you were to want that. I'm actually not gonna run any of the testing with a companion so that we don't get any mixed values or something like that. Then prime continuity, and also or extended, which one of them suggested. The other one didn't quite suggested it, I think, but what this pretty much does is that it helps you to suck up the enemies even from range. So in my previous video, I was actually talking about having negative range because you might not want to carry so many in your belly. But then in this particular build is more like you want to have as many as you can because he has a passive, and I think you can see it over here. His passive is each enemy consumed grants 50 bonus armor. So that is the basic idea. Now these two guys, if you see this video, please find me on Discord, DM me, let me know who you are on YouTube, let me know your name, and then I'll have a way for you to verify yourself. After that, I'm gonna give you a glyph code, so don't forget to do that. So I feel like running a demonstration in the Simulacrum is not a very good representative. I feel like it all depends on what enemies I want to spawn, and really strong enemies is still going to be a little bit hard to tank. But in general, in practice, he should be really good. So I will showcase him in ESO instead. Now there is a problem with ESO runs, is that, or rather a problem with the community, the players themselves, is that everyone is really smart right now. So all the good players, they know the best way to do certain things. And when that happens, they also become a little bit too into being efficient. So sometimes when you see someone that is not a Saren, or if there's no Trinity or something like that, you just don't want to be in that game, and then you leave. So we're gonna try and do some kind of a social experiment here. We're gonna enter. Hopefully we don't end up joining someone else, but let someone else join us. Oh no, we're actually joining someone else. No, pause. Okay, so anyway, the idea was to let people join us and let them see what frame I'm using and see if they would stay, right? So I want to do that kind of social experiment, but we ended up joining with this guy. So Let's see if they are willing to stay. Oh boy, I'm a little bit laggy. So we have a... Oh, one guy doesn't care. He's just like going in, I think. Oh, one guy left. I'm not too sure if he even saw what I was. Very tanky so far. Okay, let's gulp them up as many as we can. Nice. Let's do the buff. Can we change to another buff? I don't know. Did we actually change to another buff? Okay. Oh yeah, I do have a question about the something that always pops out. It's like sometimes when I attack and the enemy gets really weak, there's a way to press the X button and give mercy. What's that all about? I have no idea. What's mercy? I don't want to give you mercy. I'm not alive. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys know what does the mercy actually does and what is it all about. Do I benefit from being merciful? I would like to know. I realized that enemies that are stunned, I guess, or I'm actually not too sure about normal stuns, but if it's an electric proc, you can't actually get them. You can't feast on them. So something that I realized, so if you were to play this character, you probably don't want to have electric procs going on, because when they are under that proc, you can't feast on them. Okay, I am somewhat dying. Let's see if I can heal my health back. Oh, what? My teammate is down. I got you, bro. The power of the operator. I'm pretty sure the other guy is gonna leave. Oh, he's here. Nani? What? How? Why are you here? Wow, we have 40-ish. We have 40 stacks. Oh no. I died it. I got this. You get used to it. Energy please. Oh, from my operator? I think he meant from my operator. Okay, come to me, bribe. Now there's actually something pretty good about this character, is that his ultimate actually can hit the bubbles. So nullify bubbles used to be like the worst thing any frame or frame ability has to face, but now his balls can actually do pretty well. Now I feel like the only reason why I'm struggling, at least right now, is that I am not using a proper weapon that is really good. Like I should have brought my Galatine Prime or something, but instead I went with this. Alright, let's eat them up. Come on, give me everything you got. 70? Oh my tian. So if I'm not mistaken, the more you take in when you explode or when you puke them all out, the more damage it's gonna be. So when we got 70 in our belly, like, I bet that damage is really high. I haven't done the mats yet, so I don't know how much exactly or how strong exactly that is. There you go. No, not yet. Come on, give it to me. Okay, let's puke them out. Boom, all died. We really need to do the maths on the multiplier for every single extra enemy. Oh. Okay, so that is that build, which is amazing, but I just couldn't help it. I cannot stand the fact that the character is so simple, you know, and I can't stand the fact that out of the 4 skills that he has, the most use is like 1 and 2, and being the most use is actually 1, because you just want to gobble them up so that you have the extra armor. just to make him tanky enough so that you can do whatever you want with them with your weapon. And I just don't like that idea, so I came up with my own build. Now, it took a lot out of me. I have to consult, what's that? Oh, I have to consult my inner Zelp, the old Zelp, in order to do this.